Hello, my friend. Let me ask you something. Have you ever had a moment where your body felt off, but you couldn't quite explain why? A strange heaviness in your chest. A wave of exhaustion that didn't match your day. Or a sense that something wasn't quite right deep inside? Most of us chalk it up to stress, getting older, or not sleeping well. We tell ourselves, I'll feel better tomorrow. But sometimes, tomorrow doesn't come. The truth is, a heart attack almost never strikes without warning. Your body does try to tell you. It whispers before it screams. But those whispers? They're easy to miss. They come as heartburn that lingers a little too long. Fatigue that sinks into your bones. Or a racing heart in the middle of the night for no reason at all. And here's what's even harder to face. Up to 80% of heart attacks are preventable. That means millions of lives could be saved, not by surgery or medicine, but simply by listening earlier. I've known people who were healthy, active, and full of life, until one day, everything changed in an instant. Looking back, the signs had been there all along. But no one wants to imagine their heart could be in trouble. Not until it's too late. That's why today's video is so important. We're going to talk about 8 warning signs that can appear up to a month before a heart attack. Some of them are subtle. Some of them may feel like nothing at all. But each one is a red flag you can't afford to ignore. Please, don't dismiss these signs. Don't brush them off as just part of aging. You know your body better than anyone. And if something feels wrong, it probably is. Your heart matters. Your life matters. Let's learn to recognize the signs before it's too late. Heart attacks rarely come out of nowhere. In most cases, they are the final result of a long, silent battle happening inside your body, often for years. The good news is, your body gives you chances to notice. But to recognize these early warnings, we have to first understand what's really going on with the heart. Your heart is a powerful muscle, about the size of your fist, and its job is to pump blood full of oxygen and nutrients to every part of your body, every second of every day. It works non-stop, even while you sleep. But like any muscle, it needs its own supply of oxygen and energy to function. That supply comes from the coronary arteries, blood vessels that wrap around your heart and feed it what it needs. Over time, these arteries can become narrowed or blocked by a buildup of plaque, a sticky substance made up of cholesterol, fat, and other materials. This condition is called atherosclerosis. It doesn't happen overnight. It builds slowly, quietly, and without pain. But when the arteries get too narrow, blood has a hard time reaching your heart muscle. That's when problems begin. When your heart isn't getting enough oxygen, it starts to send out signals. At first, they may be small, like feeling tired more often or having mild discomfort when you walk uphill. But as the blockage gets worse, the warnings become more urgent. If the artery becomes completely blocked, the blood can't reach part of your heart muscle, and that's when a heart attack occurs. What makes this especially dangerous is that not everyone feels the same warning signs. Some people expect the dramatic elephant on the chest pain they've seen in movies. But in real life, heart attack symptoms can be much more subtle, especially in women, older adults, and people with diabetes. That's why things like fatigue, jaw pain, or sleep problems might not seem connected to your heart, but often, they are. Another important factor is something called angina. This is when you feel chest discomfort due to reduced blood flow to the heart. It's not a heart attack yet, but it's a serious red flag. Angina usually comes during physical activity or emotional stress and goes away with rest. The key danger here is that many people dismiss this kind of discomfort because it feels temporary or mild. But over time, angina can progress and lead directly to a full-blown heart attack. We also need to talk about how your body tries to compensate when the heart isn't pumping efficiently. You might feel short of breath, not because your lungs are the problem, but because your heart can't keep up with the oxygen demands of your body. You might have poor sleep because your brain senses that oxygen levels are dipping at night. And you might feel dizzy or lightheaded because your brain isn't getting enough blood. Each of these symptoms might seem unrelated on its own, but together, they tell a powerful story about your heart's health. And the earlier we recognize that story, the better chance we have to prevent a crisis. The key takeaway is this: your body is always communicating with you. A heart attack is not usually the first warning, it's the last. The symptoms that appear a month before are your window of opportunity to act, to change, and to take back control of your health. Next, we'll walk through the 8 signs you must not ignore. These are the quiet but urgent messages from your body, and knowing them might just save your life. 1. Mild chest discomfort that comes and goes. One of the most commonly overlooked warning signs of an impending heart attack is mild chest discomfort that comes and goes. It's not the crushing pain you might expect. It doesn't knock you to the floor or send you running to the ER. In fact, it often feels like something much less serious: tightness, pressure, or even a bit of burning in the chest. This type of discomfort is usually caused by angina, which happens when blood flow to the heart is temporarily reduced. It might come on when you're walking up a hill, carrying groceries, or feeling emotionally stressed. Then it fades away when you rest. And because it's short-lived, many people think, it's probably just heartburn, or, I'm just out of shape. But angina is your heart waving a red flag, warning you that it's not getting enough oxygen. The sensations may vary. Some people describe it as a tight band across the chest. Others say it feels like something heavy is pressing down. And in some cases, it may feel like a fullness or bloating deep in the chest, not painful, but certainly not normal. If this kind of discomfort keeps happening, even just once or twice a week, don't ignore it. The heart is trying to warn you. Waiting until the discomfort becomes severe could mean waiting too long. Listen now, while you still have time to act. 2. Unusual fatigue, feeling drained for no clear reason. Have you ever felt completely wiped out, even after a full night of sleep? That kind of unusual fatigue, the kind that lingers and makes simple tasks feel overwhelming, can be a quiet warning sign of heart trouble. This isn't the tiredness you feel after a long day. It's a deep, persistent exhaustion that doesn't get better with rest. You might notice it when doing routine things like showering, cooking, or walking to the mailbox. It's a heaviness in your body. Like you're constantly dragging yourself through the day, even without physical exertion. Why does this happen? When your heart isn't pumping efficiently, blood flow to your muscles and brain is reduced. Your body shifts resources to protect vital organs, leaving your arms, legs, and even your mind feeling weak and foggy. The result? You feel like you've come down with the flu, but there's no fever, no cough, just a constant state of depletion. This symptom is especially common in women and older adults, and sadly, it's often brushed off as a normal part of aging. But it's not. If fatigue shows up suddenly, sticks around for days or weeks, and gets worse over time, it's time to take it seriously. Your energy is your body's fuel gauge. When it's running low for no clear reason, your heart could be the engine that's struggling. 3. Shortness of breath, especially during light activities. You're walking up a flight of stairs, nothing unusual. But halfway through, you're suddenly out of breath. Not just winded, really struggling to breathe. You pause, grab the railing, and wonder if you're just out of shape. But deep down, something doesn't feel right. Shortness of breath, especially during light activity, is a serious early warning sign of heart trouble. It often shows up long before any chest pain. The reason is simple: when your heart can't pump efficiently, your lungs pick up the slack. They work harder to pull in oxygen because your blood isn't circulating it well. This kind of breathlessness can sneak up gradually. First, it's climbing stairs. Then, walking across a parking lot. Before long, even talking or lying flat in bed leaves you gasping for air. Some people even wake up at night, needing to sit upright just to breathe. It's easy to blame this on age, stress, or lack of exercise. But if you're finding it harder to catch your breath during everyday tasks, that's not normal. It's a sign that your heart may not be delivering the oxygen your body needs. Don't wait until the breathlessness becomes overwhelming. If you notice this change, especially if it comes with fatigue or chest discomfort, get it checked. Your heart might be sending an urgent signal for help. 4. Sleep disturbances, waking up anxious or gasping for air. You go to bed exhausted, but instead of resting peacefully, you toss and turn. Maybe you wake up gasping for air, or with your heart racing. Sometimes you wake up for no reason at all, drenched in sweat or shaken by a vivid nightmare. If this sounds familiar, your body might be warning you about more than just poor sleep habits. Sleep disturbances, especially those that happen without an obvious cause, can be an early clue that your heart is in distress. When your heart isn't circulating oxygen efficiently, your brain picks up on it, often while you're asleep. This can trigger sudden awakenings or prevent your body from entering deep, restorative sleep. One condition linked to this is nocturnal hypoxia, where your oxygen levels drop during the night due to reduced blood flow. It leaves you feeling groggy and fatigued the next day, even if you technically slept for 8 hours. Another culprit is an overactive nervous system. When the heart is under pressure, stress hormones like adrenaline spike, especially at night. This makes it hard to relax, fall asleep, or stay asleep. If you're experiencing these sleep issues alongside other symptoms like fatigue or breathlessness, it's time to pay attention. Poor sleep isn't always about stress or aging, it could be your heart asking you to take action before something worse happens. 5. Indigestion or heartburn, that feels different or lingers. You just finished eating. A few minutes later, a burning sensation rises in your chest. It feels like heartburn, maybe from that second cup of coffee or spicy food. You reach for an antacid and move on. But what if that discomfort wasn't coming from your stomach at all? Many people are surprised to learn that indigestion or heartburn-like symptoms can be early signs of a heart attack, especially in older adults and women. The heart and stomach are closely connected through shared nerve pathways. That means your brain can sometimes confuse signals from the heart and interpret them as a digestive issue. If the burning sensation happens frequently, or if it feels different than usual, it's time to look deeper. Heart-related discomfort can mimic acid reflux, but it's actually caused by reduced blood flow to the heart. It often shows up as pressure, tightness, or even bloating in the chest. The difference is, this sensation doesn't always follow food, and it might come with other symptoms like nausea, cold sweats, dizziness, or pain radiating to your jaw or back. Don't assume every case of indigestion is harmless, especially if antacids don't help or the discomfort keeps returning. If something feels off or unfamiliar, don't wait it out. Sometimes the quietest warning signs are the most dangerous. And when it comes to your heart, it's always better to be cautious than too late. 6. Jaw, neck, or shoulder pain, unexplained and recurring. You feel a dull ache in your jaw or neck, nothing sharp, just enough to notice. Maybe it shows up when you're stressed, or after physical activity. You stretch a little, massage the area, and assume it's muscle tension or poor posture. But what if it's not? Unexplained pain in the jaw, neck, or shoulders can be a subtle but serious sign of a heart problem. When the heart is under stress, it doesn't always send pain signals to the chest. Instead, those signals can travel through a nerve called the vagus nerve, which reaches different parts of the upper body. This kind of pain may feel like a dull pressure or tightness rather than a sharp stab. It might come and go, appear without any physical strain, or worsen during exertion. What makes it tricky is that the discomfort often isn't where you'd expect heart pain to be. That's why people dismiss it. It's especially important to take this sign seriously if you're older, female, or diabetic, groups that are more likely to experience atypical heart symptoms. If jaw, neck, or shoulder pain comes with fatigue, shortness of breath, or dizziness, don't wait. These symptoms are often dismissed until it's too late. Your body isn't just aching, it may be calling for help. Listen to that call. 7. Upper back or shoulder blade pain, spreading or pressure-like. You twist your back, hoping to shake off that deep ache between your shoulder blades. It's not sharp, more like a spreading pressure. You think maybe you slept wrong, or maybe it's from sitting too long. But despite stretching and rubbing, the discomfort doesn't go away. Upper back pain, especially between the shoulder blades, is an often missed sign of a heart problem. Unlike pain from a pulled muscle or joint strain, heart-related discomfort tends to feel like pressure, heaviness, or tightness that radiates across your back, sometimes moving into your arms, neck, or chest. This happens because the nerves that signal heart pain don't always localize the problem in the chest. Instead, they refer the sensation to other areas, particularly the upper back. And while this might sound unusual, it's especially common in women and older adults, who are less likely to experience classic chest pain during a heart attack. What makes this symptom so dangerous is how easy it is to overlook. You might dismiss it as muscle tension or the result of poor posture. But if this pain shows up suddenly, worsens with activity, or doesn't improve with rest, it's worth paying close attention. If your back starts to hurt and it doesn't feel like your usual aches and pains, and especially if it's paired with fatigue, shortness of breath, or nausea, it's time to take it seriously. Sometimes, the pain behind you is a sign your heart is struggling ahead. 8. Dizziness or lightheadedness, especially at rest or without reason. You're standing at the kitchen counter, when suddenly the room starts to spin. You grip the edge, steadying yourself, as a wave of lightheadedness washes over you. Within seconds, it fades. You chalk it up to standing too fast or needing a snack. But if these episodes are happening more often, and especially without a clear cause, it could be a sign that your heart isn't delivering enough oxygen-rich blood to your brain. Dizziness and lightheadedness occur when blood flow is restricted. This can happen when arteries are narrowing, or when the heart is struggling to pump effectively. Without enough circulation, your brain momentarily lacks the oxygen it needs, leading to feelings of unsteadiness or even near fainting. Unlike dizziness from dehydration or motion, heart-related dizziness can strike while you're sitting, lying down, or doing nothing at all. It may be accompanied by cold sweats, fatigue, shortness of breath, or chest tightness. Some people describe it as a floating sensation, while others feel like their body might give out. This symptom may feel mild, but it's not harmless. It can be your brain's way of alerting you that something deeper is wrong with your circulation, possibly due to an oncoming cardiac event. If you're having repeated, unexplained dizzy spells, don't ignore them. Your heart and brain are in constant conversation, and this could be their urgent message. After hearing these 8 signs, you might be feeling a wave of concern. Maybe even fear. That's natural. When we realize just how quietly a heart attack can approach, it shakes us. But what I want you to take from this isn't fear, it's power. Because now, you know what to look for. And that knowledge can save your life. Let's be honest, many of us were raised to tough it out. We learned to keep going, to push through the pain, to ignore our bodies and focus on everyone else. Especially as we get older, we start believing that fatigue, aches, or restless nights are just the price of aging. But they're not. Not always. Sometimes, they're your body's way of saying, please. Something's not right. The people I've seen suffer the most weren't the ones who had the biggest symptoms. They were the ones who had the quiet signs, and ignored them. They felt the shortness of breath, the indigestion, the shoulder pain. But they didn't want to bother anyone. They thought they'd just wait it out. And by the time they realized it was serious, it was already too late. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. Your body is on your side. It's not trying to scare you, it's trying to protect you. Every flutter, every ache, every restless night, those could be early warnings. Not of death, but of life saying, this is your chance to step in. To heal. To act. You still have time. You still have options. You still have the ability to reverse course. Whether that means scheduling a checkup, changing how you eat, walking a little each day, or simply listening more closely to how you feel, it all matters. Please, don't let pride or fear stand in the way of taking action. Don't wait for pain to scream when your body has been whispering for weeks. Don't gamble with your life thinking it'll go away. Listen to what your heart is telling you, because it's not just about avoiding a heart attack. It's about staying here, longer, for the people who love you. And for the life you still want to live. You are not alone in this. Your heart is worth saving. And your story is far from over. Now that you know the 8 warning signs, the next question is, what can you do, starting today, to protect your heart? The answer isn't complicated. It doesn't require perfection. It requires attention, consistency, and care. First and foremost, listen to your body. If something feels off, whether it's fatigue, shortness of breath, jaw pain, or disturbed sleep, don't ignore it. You've earned the right to speak up and seek help. Schedule an appointment with your doctor. Tell them exactly what you're feeling, even if it seems minor. Early detection can save your life. Second, move your body gently and daily. You don't have to run marathons or lift heavy weights. A 30-minute walk each day, even broken up into smaller chunks, helps keep your heart muscle strong and your circulation active. It also helps manage blood pressure, blood sugar, and stress. Speaking of stress, manage it with care. Chronic stress inflames your arteries, raises your blood pressure, and quietly wears down your heart. So take time each day to breathe deeply, laugh with a friend, listen to music, or simply sit in peace. Your heart thrives when you give it moments of calm. Next, focus on heart-smart nutrition. Cut back on processed foods, sugar, and trans fats. Instead, fuel your body with leafy greens, berries, nuts, olive oil, salmon, oats, and plenty of water. Every bite is a chance to heal, not just feed. If you smoke, it's time to stop. If you drink alcohol, keep it modest. And if you haven't had a full heart checkup in a while, blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, make it happen this month. Most importantly, remember this: you are not too old, too late, or too far gone to make a difference. The human heart is incredibly resilient. When you give it what it needs, it begins to repair, day by day. So take this video as your personal call to action. Because the steps you take now may not just extend your life, they'll help you feel better, stronger, and more in control of your future. Let's quickly go over the 8 warning signs of a heart attack that can appear up to a month before it strikes, so you'll never miss them again. Mild chest discomfort that comes and goes, pressure, tightness, or heaviness, especially with activity. Unusual fatigue that lingers for days or weeks, making even small tasks feel draining. Shortness of breath during simple activities like climbing stairs or walking across a room. Sleep disturbances, waking up anxious, gasping, or unable to rest despite feeling tired. Indigestion or heartburn that feels different, lingers, or isn't relieved by antacids. Jaw, neck, or shoulder pain that comes and goes, especially with exertion. Upper back or shoulder blade pain that spreads, presses, or won't go away with movement. Dizziness or lightheadedness that occurs unexpectedly, even while sitting or lying down. These signs may be subtle, but together, they can paint a clear picture of a heart in distress. Don't ignore them. Don't wait. Early action is your best protection. Your heart is speaking. Let today be the day you finally listen.